So I made a video with this caption. What if I tell you that President Tinubu is not the real problem of Nigeria, and even Peter Obi may end up worse than him? One of my fan, Obeda Uzochku, dropped this comment. He said, Ezugo, you are obviously politically ignorant. It is the president that made the National Assembly useless. If you vote right, who controls the police, army, and INEC? Do you know that those National Assembly members fear the president more than the so-called electorate? Let me stop this comment here so that I can explain two things to you. If you think I am politically ignorant. So why do you think the president, the first thing he does when he comes into power is first of all to make the National Assembly useless? Why do you think they always do that? They always make sure that their preferred candidate will be the person that will take over the seat of the president of the Senate and the speaker of the Federal House of Rep. If you think that they don't have any power, and a point of correction, they don't fear the president. They only sell their right to him because of, and that's why I said, in as much as we are paying attention to the presidential election, let us also pay more attention also to the legislative election. Yes, know the legislation you are voting to go and represent you there, so that when he gets there, it will be very difficult for the president to be able to manipulate them. It is very simple. Yes, I saw somebody in the comment section who talked about the president who follows the due process. Then I will ask you, who were the people who messed up the new electoral act? Who were the people? The National Assembly. The National Assembly. And they simply did the bidding of the president. And if you think they did it free, or they did it on purpose because they know it, then you must be lying. They did it, number one, because they have been induced, they have been lobbied, because obviously lobbying is allowed. It is not a crime to lobby them. So he lobbied them with some briefcases, of course, of money, and some of them also voted against it because they have interest. So what is it that is difficult for you to understand? From what I wrote here, the caption, you obviously perceive that maybe I am against Peter Obi when I said that even Peter Obi may fail to perform well. Yes, I am an obedient. I support Peter Obi 100%, but I'm talking about the system. If the system is right, then Peter Obi also will perform better. The system will help Peter Obi to perform better. Let me tell you, if Peter Obi wins the presidency of this country without the majority of the people at the National Assembly on his side, he will not last long there, number one. Number two, he will not last long there, number one. Then, number two, he will not perform. Because any positive bills or any positive request he brings to the House for them to pass it, they will not just to frustrate him. And no matter how good a bill or it is in Nigeria, if the majority, if they say every Nigerian must pay 50,000 every day, have you seen that, how uncomfortable it is? If it comes to the House and the majority of the National Assembly, both at the upper and lower chamber, say, my friend, you are going to pay that money. That is how vital that particular house is, but we are disregarding it. So I only say, let us pay as much attention at the legislative election as we also pay to the presidential election. Yes, because these people, they go there in their numbers to constitute nuisance, and they reduce this country in the state of mess. I wish you can follow their proceedings so that you will see people who always talk sense, but because they come from the minority, whatever thing they say, no matter how sensible it may look, once the president doesn't like it, the majority will never say hi to it. So that is it. If you think I'm ignorant, then continue. But I've just said so. You think I'm against Peter Obi, then you must be joking. If the system is right, note my point. If those houses are as powerless as you may think, why is it that the first thing every president that comes into this country do is to make sure that the president of the Senate and the speaker of the House of Representatives is in his pocket. That is where they will start now scavenging for the other members of the house so that they can make sure that they get the majority on their side. So they can be able to perform and do all this abracadabra they are doing. This is Ezugo. Share this video. Lest I forget, why I said that President Tinubu is not the president of this country is because if we have men of goodwill there at the National Assembly, it will be difficult for the president to manipulate them into passing some crazy bills in this country, especially part of these loans that has always been acquired from left, right, and center without giving a proper account on how the previous ones were spent, and the issues surrounding the security of this country in terms of inducting the repentant Boko Harams into the Nigerian army, and so many of them. Even the way the new electoral act fall Yakata for ground, if we have people of goodwill, there are so many things that will not be going on in this country. And number two, why I say that Peter Obi may end up being worse than him is that if Peter Obi ever gets to that seat without having men of goodwill there, and they decide to say, okay, he has majority, he will fail to function, they will frustrate him, except if he's going to play by the same rule, which is what? Let the money speak for you. So in other words, if you have any good bill or any good request to the House, he must have to back it up with bags of Ghana must go, so that they can be able to put away their political differences and now grant the request of the president. So if you don't understand it that way, and you think that why I say that is because I'm saying that Tinubu is not the problem, that Peter Obi will be worse than, then you must be a joker. That house there is a powerful engine that powers this country, in case if you don't know. And if you think they are ignorant of their right, you are joking. They only sold their right for the interest they have. That's why they are all greedy and selfish. So we need people who will reason well, people who will stand with the people that they are going there to represent, so that this country can function well. This is Ezugo. Like I said, share this video.